It's a brand new day. Hey. Wake up every morning and say it's a brand new day. Hey. Take a good day, make it great, okay? 'Cause if you got some lemons, make some lemonade. Yeah.
Hello,
Taste
and
those
welcome
clouds
to the
away.
Political
It's a
Abundance
brand
Show,
new day.
where we aspire women as well as inspire women to be healthy, wealthy, and whole. And as I always say, down in your soul. I'm your host, Kathy.
And I'm Shamila.
Well, hello, Shamila. You ready for girl talk?
I guess so. I'm always ready for real time.
You need to pull that for the day out.
Yes.
We getting kind of low. We need to get people to start sending us a
Girl,
tip.
we been low. We always got one tip. One tip. Okay. So, this one says your life doesn't need to line up with anyone else's. You might not be married by 30. You might not have your dream job by 35. You might not have a family by 40. That doesn't mean your life isn't great. Don't let the pressure of quote unquote, win stop you from enjoying where you are now. And that one is from Jay Shetty.
Okay.
All right, I love me some Jay Shetty.
Yeah, that's interesting. A lot of times people allow themselves to be stressed because they want to be where the Joneses are, you know.
Mhm.
So why not enjoy where you are? Let God move you to where you need to be, and stop stressing about where everybody else is, and focus on where God wants you to be. That's what I feel like. You know, enjoy where you are.
I know I feel the same because people, and that's the thing I think about, like social media and other things like that. When you get to see everyone else's life, that's when other people's mental health go down because they're
yeah.
comparing their lives to others.
Yeah.
So they see someone married at 28 and they're like, oh, I'm 28 too and I can't
Yeah.
find anyone. Because, we were young. When I was young, I'm not going to be married at 25, have kids and
Oh,
all
no,
that.
I never thought
no.
that, but okay.
Now I'm 38 and I'm like, kids, what? So, your mind can change, your life can change.
It definitely
You have
can.
to really learn to love where you are, and that's what gratitude comes in.
Yes.
So for me, when I started like my healing journey, what I started first was gratitude. Because I had to look around like, I really have a lot. I have a lot, and I shouldn't be complaining. I shouldn't be sad about anything.
You're right.
So start with being grateful for what you have. You have a car. Maybe it's not the car that you want,
Exactly.
but you can get there. If you're grateful for what you have now, it's going to open up for more things to come. So then being grateful for having the car you have, within the next year or sooner, you never know, you may get the car that you want just because you're being grateful.
Exactly.
And of course
And
that
what
works,
God
right?
has for you, it is for you. Nothing can stop it. So just stay in and enjoy where you are. Don't stress about what the Joneses have.
That's true, because our lives are not supposed to mirror everyone else's.
That's right.
We tend to mirror each other because, we're talking to each other, you have relationships, and as far as like the healing aspect or the soul of yourself, yes, but your life, like what you have, everyone's different. We can't all live the same life.
That's right.
And comparing yourself, and women in our 20s, hitting our 30s, it's like that's kind of, for me, that was like kind of depressing. Because like every year as I got older, I would get sad, like always sad on my birthday, and I'm just like,
Why?
because I didn't have the things I wanted to be married. I didn't have all this, all the things that I felt like we were supposed to have. But then now that I'm 38 and been through the relationships I've been through, I'm like, I'm glad I didn't get married. To anybody that I dated too, it's
Right,
like I probably would have been divorced by now, like probably been in an unhappy marriage. So you have to really sit. Like, even when you go through breakups, when you go through certain things, you have to look at the good side of things. So, like, for me, it was like, okay, I didn't marry any of those, any guy that I was with that I had a horrible relationship with. It didn't go a step further, like marriage or children or anything like that, and I am so grateful for that. Because then that person is, like, stuck in your life.
In your life, right.
So, it's like, if
Yeah.
you're not married at that time, it's like, because you haven't met the one, and that's fine.
Right. That's right. Your person hasn't came along
Exactly.
yet. But I did get married kind of young, and I got divorced.
But you got some beautiful children out of that, though.
I mean, I've been
Were your
married
children not
twice.
beautiful?
I've been married twice.
Like, I mean,
Married
Um,
twice, and just didn't work.
even though it didn't work, would you do it all over again?
I would. I am ready to be married again. Yes.
Yeah.
It's been probably over 16 years, so yeah, I'm ready.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. What makes you feel like you're ready? Because for me, do you feel like right now you're mentally healthy, you're stable in certain areas you want to be stable in, so you're like, now I'm waiting for my king, my man.
Yeah. I'm getting older, so I need that companion to
Oh,
be
yeah.
spending my time with.
Mhm.
I don't want to leave this earth and not have someone that I've spent time with and had that companionship with. So
Okay.
to me, that's important. I definitely want a
Are you-
husband before I leave this earth.
So you actively looking right now? We're going to find you a man.
I'm not actively looking, but I do pray and ask God to send me my Boaz.
Okay. And I feel like you'll get it at the right time.
Yeah.
I'm really learning too about timing and things like
It
that.
is important.
You know, you kind of go through different stages of your life and you want something right at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I get this feeling like, okay, maybe it's not the right time. There's a reason why you feel like this. So for me, I feel like everyone wants me to be married. And I'm like, for me, I'm like, I don't think maybe that's not what's for me right now.
Right.
There's so many pieces that are moving around in my life, and so it would have to be with someone who's moving along with me.
Right, yeah.
So, and it's just like I can't.
Equally yoked.
Exactly, yeah. Because I'm busy. I love being busy,
Mm-hmm.
so it has to be someone who's kind of living the same life as me. Because
Exactly.
you would have to be busy too.
And that's
but we
my
still be able to
problem.
make
Yeah,
time.
I can't
exactly.
find most of the guys that I have met. It's like you do too much, whatever, and I'm like,
Yeah, but it's.
oh, okay.
But that's the joy of life. That's what brings us joy. So it's just like if someone doesn't accept that part of you, then they're
Right,
not for you.
they're not for me.
Because I'm like, if I do too much, you can do it with me. Like, come to these
And
events.
that's why I tell
come
them,
to my,
you're welcome to.
the-
I'm not hiding anything.
Mhm.
You're welcome to be a part.
and that's my thing. It's just like, I'm working. People have their 9 to 5. I'll have like a 9 to 10, 9 to 12, and that's PM. And then 9 to midnight or 8 to midnight, or I'm up even before then.
Right.
And so you have to find somebody that kind of matches
Right.
that. So,
Exactly.
and they say to whenever, if you're a fitness person, you want to get someone that's fit, then go to the gym and try to meet somebody there,
Right.
or go to events that's centered around fitness, or whatever you like to do. You like to go hiking, join a group where a group of hikers, or
Meeting
whatever.
like-minded.
Yeah, like-minded, yeah. So,
Exactly.
because not only do you enjoy something together, you get that time in. Because then if you are busy, that's our time to do that.
Right. Exactly. I agree. Ooh, I love this girl.
I know. We need to have more of these. I like to talk about I really like to talk about relationships. Because I do, because I have a whole new outlook on love and relationships.
Okay.
I love to talk to people who are in relationships and people who have been married for a long time. I love to hear how they met, and I always
I
love to
know.
see engagement, like proposals. I always watch proposals all the time on Instagram. Me and my cousin will send them to each other like, oh my God, this is so cute.
Oh my God.
Just because I just love. I think it all starts with love. Loving yourself first so that you can give love to everybody else.
That's true. I like that.
We have a really special guest that's coming out.
Yes,
And so I'm
we do.
excited.
I am too.
And I'll tell you why I'm excited when we come back.
It's-
Because I probably will be able to show you why I'm excited.
don't go nowhere.
It's a brand new day. Hey. Wake up every morning and say it's a brand new day. Hey. Take a good day, make it great, okay? 'Cause if you got some lemons, make some
Welcome back, and we're back here with our special guest. As y'all know, here at Women of Abundant Wealth, we always have special guests. Hey, that's special. Today, our special guest is Perry Johnson. He is a minister, a counselor, author, and a writer. He just published his first novel titled The Counselor, Volume 1 and 2, Let me make sure I got the title right. All is fair in love and war. Right. Okay.
Right.
Okay. I thought that was interesting that you chose to put pictures of actual models and actors.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a visual type of guy, so I don't read. It's funny because I mean, I love to write, create stories, but I don't read a lot, so I like to look at pictures, just like other people
Okay.
like to read. So
Yeah, because
know.
it brought the book to life.
right, exactly, yeah. So I'm, like I said, I'm more of a visual guy. Doing plays and stuff like that. So I like for people to see what I see,
Oh,
and yeah.
yeah, because I looked and I was like, okay, I can visualize that,
Mhm.
see exactly what's going on.
Right,
you know?
right.
So what inspired you to write this book?
Exactly.
Well, a lot of things inspired me. But one was my own marriage. So the counselor is basically, first off, is based off of me and my wife. Some of the conversations that you read in this book is a lot of conversations that me and her had. Now I did put a twist to it, to make it, a little bit more dramatified. But other than that, that was the start of it, of how I started with it. And then after that, I just created other characters based around it. A few people that I've counseled, a few people that we know, and so it just blossomed from there.
So, how did you choose the people to be the characters in the book? What
Yeah,
inspired
that's-
you to do that?
I don't remember. I mean, it just came to me.
Really?
Yeah, I
Like,
just
I know you got
created.
drama in your life when you write about that.
Yeah.
So
I
the
said-
book is basically actual.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah, some of it can be fictional.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like half fictional, half real.
Okay.
Like I said, a lot of conversations that the counselor has with his wife is a lot of conversations that me and my wife had.
Okay.
When we were struggling with one another in our own marriage, a lot of things we did to one another. We cheated,
Yeah, gotcha.
a lot of stuff that happened between our marriage. We went through it. We went
Right.
through it. 20 years we went through it.
And you came out on the good side.
Yeah, we came out on the good side.
So now you're able to counsel people.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually that was a lot of that was going on while we was counseling. So in
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So we were, me trying to get into the ministry and trying to concentrate on helping other couples as well as helping my own, because I felt that if I helped the other couples, I could help myself as well. So I was
Right,
learning
yeah.
as I was going, and
That's
things
good.
happen. You can't control everybody. You can't control what other people do. You can only control yourself. So, but just things happen, and I just kind of had to write about it. It's
Who
a bad
is
guy.
the
in
bad
it.
guy? Can
It's,
you say?
yeah, his name is Jamal. Yeah,
Oh,
and
I'll be honest.
yeah, Jamal is the first lady's ex-lover, and
The first lady's ex-lover.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Now that part isn't true. So that's
Right,
so like I said, a lot of
okay.
things is true, just the conversations, but the action and the drama that's the fictional
But
part.
just scenarios so people can
So,
know.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So it's many scenarios. It's not only about a counselor. I know it's called the counselor, but it's mainly about two single women, and they're struggling to find the right mate,
Okay.
and both of them are going about it two different, the wrong way.
Oh.
And so yeah, you have that. So it's like it branches off into a bunch of different stories.
Okay. Well, tell us more about your bad guy character.
Oh yeah, Jamal. Yeah, I like bad guys. Matter of fact, when we do the stage play, I know I'm jumping the gun, but when we do the stage play, I'm gonna play the bad guy this time.
We'll get more into that
Yeah.
later.
Okay. So yeah, but basically he's a narcissist. He has a crazy behavior. He's starting to act irrational, and after she broke it off with him a long time ago, he's trying to get her back. Is what he's trying to do, and he's going about
Is he
it.
stalking her?
Yes. Yeah.
So he's trying
And
to get her back
threatening.
while she's married?
Yeah. And he threatens to kill the counselor and
That's not cute.
some
Is
other
the
stuff,
counselor
so-
her husband?
Yes, counselor's husband. Yeah. So he's a pastor. He's a counselor. So he's struggling to minister to other people while he's counseling, and he's dealing with this in his marriage.
Oh, okay, I do have a question. So,
Mhm.
how I kind of got from it was
Mm-hmm.
all these characters you have in your book, the relation that they have is a counselor, right? So they're all
Yes.
going to that counselor?
Well, no. So the counselor is basically a counselor in itself. So like I said, it's single women in it. It's a couple that they basically counsel themselves because he's so caught up with him with what he's got going on, he's not even really even paying attention. So they kind of minister to one another and they figure out what's going on in their marriage. You just basically have to read the book and see what I mean by it's a counselor. So everything in the book means something. It all has a different meaning in it. I mean, I'll be here all night trying to explain what each meaning means.
So you have a volume 1 and volume 2.
Yeah, so basically, this is one book. So what happened was it was too big. It was too big, so we had to separate it. So I called it volume 1 and volume 2.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll see half
some
of
good
that.
read, huh?
Yeah.
It wasn't too big. It was too good. That you had
I appreciate
You couldn't
that.
stop.
Thank you.
Yeah, you couldn't
Thank you.
stop. You had to keep going.
It was like,
Yeah.
you know what? Y'all need to go ahead.
Yeah, but when I received this book and I got it in the mail and it was like this, I was like, oh no, I can't. So yeah, my publicist, she allowed me to separate it, and we divided them both up into volume 1, volume 2. So it is one book.
How did you come up with the title, The Counselor?
Like I said, based off of me, the counselor. I was counseling couples at the time, and I wanted it was actually originally called the marriage counselor. And so this time around, I didn't want it to be focused on marriage because that's not what it's about. It's about, like I said, 2 single women. It's about the first lady, how she's struggling to, not to do what she's doing. The counselor, he's struggling, to maintain his marriage. And it's just, like I say, it's a lot of different characters within the book that counsels to you or that ministers to you. And so that's what it's mainly about. But originally it was called the marriage counselor, and that's where it started, from the marriage counselor counseling. But I'm like, why would I call it marriage counselor? Because he's not actually counseling all the other couples too. So
Right.
Yeah, so we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And then we're going to talk more about this and all the stuff that you have coming up.
We'll be right back.
It's a brand new day. Hey. Wake up every morning and say, it's a brand new day. Hey. Take a good day, make it great, okay? 'Cause if you got some lemons, make some lemonade.
All right, welcome back. So, what I do want to talk about is you turning this book into a play.
Yeah. Well, flip it. It was actually a play first,
Oh,
and then I turned it to the book. Yeah.
So you've written a play before?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We did the play first, and we did it at my church. Well, not my church, but it was my church home. And yeah, they loved it.
What was that like?
It was fun. We had a good time. Everybody loved it. I remember when we was selling the tickets, and I was charging $20, and they was like, "Who you think you are, Tyler Perry or somebody?" I'm like, just come to see it. Just come to see it, and you'll enjoy it. And they did. And so I heard them, the same people that was talking about how much the tickets were. They was out. I heard them out in the audience laughing.
But they got to realize that you have to pay for certain things for this to happen.
Most definitely, yeah. Because we had mics, we had it was a lot of things we had to pay for, and that helps. The ticket sales help pay for those things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they think that you're going to get all this
No,
money
no,
for,
Well,
not
I mean,
realizing.
also, when it comes to
wish.
church folks, it's like, we in church and you charging this for that?
Yeah.
Like,
They want everything free.
Right.
I mean, you'll go and pay $100,
Exactly.
$75. Why you can't? You know me,
Right.
So why you
Yeah.
can't
Exactly.
just come and pay a little $20?
That's what I said. That's what I said.
They go pay for a meal.
Yeah. But the best thing about that is after the fact when they came up to me and said, yeah, it was worth it. So when they said that, I was like, yeah, see that. I
next
tried
time
to
I'm
tell
charging
you.
you 40.
Yeah.
So you decided to make it a book after
Right.
that.
Yeah. So yeah, I was getting ready to do the second. I was gonna do it again, the play again, and then I started working on that. So and that's where.
What about a movie?
Hey, if somebody want to help with it, I'm
That
ready.
sounds.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good movie.
It will be
Really. Yeah.
part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how different is it then to write a script for a play than have a book? Like, is it different? Is it kind of like reading off the?
Yeah. Well, with the play, you can just go, right to it. With the book, you can describe how they're feeling. So the people out in the audience, they don't have to, figure it out for themselves. They can actually read it and see how they're feeling and what made them feel that way. And in this book, I go back into some of their childhoods, you know, to generational curses, to explain why they are the way they are, you know, because we don't just start out that way. We develop it as we go, as we grow, and so that's another reason why it's the counseling, because it starts like that.
So you met your wife back when you were kids,
Yeah,
right?
when we were 8 years old. Yeah,
Where did you meet her at?
church.
Church.
Yeah, we met
Wow.
at church. Yeah, my family and her family, they went to the same church, and so we grew up in church, you know, singing in the choir and stuff like that. And hey, that's, you know, she was.
Did you know right off this gonna be my wife?
Nah, I didn't know.
At 8 years old.
No, I didn't know. Not at 8.
You know how
we
some
did.
kids be like, that's gonna be my
You know, I
husband or
wish.
wife. Or,
I mean, really, we met, but we didn't start actually talking like that until we was like 14. So it was like
Okay.
we
Y'all built a friendship along the way. Yeah.
So and she was kind of in and out of church because she came with her uncle, and she would come she would just spend a night and, you know, come to church to visit and everything like that. And that's when I would see her. And one day she came, and I was shy. I don't just come up and talk to the girls or whatever. And she just said, you know, something to me in the hallway, and I was like, okay, yeah, she liked me. So
you just knew it. Huh?
yeah, oh yeah, I knew. Yeah, based off of what she said. So after that, you know, we started talking, but we were off and on, you know,
Okay.
during high school. You know, not high school, but during
Did
our
y'all go
teenage
to the
years.
same high school?
No, just church. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we were off and on during
So
that
how
time.
did y'all make it work since you were not in the same high school?
We talked. We just got together when we
Phone, I
could.
know.
Yeah, yeah,
Y'all
basically on
talked
the
on
phone.
the
Yeah, 'cause we
phone,
definitely
yeah.
didn't have no car. So, but yeah, we, you know, at church, I would see at church, and we would just, you know, be boyfriend and girlfriend on the old phone. We would go out. You know, her father didn't like her talking to anybody else but me, so he was cool with me since I went to church with,
Right,
with
okay.
the other side of the family and everything. So, you know, but the when I got as I got a little bit older, like let's say about 16, 17, you know, I started, you know, wanting to do other stuff, and she wasn't, you know, so we separated. We you know, broke up.
When did you get back together?
We was 21 when we got back together.
Really?
Yeah, 21.
Wow.
Yeah, realized
And
we were still in love with
what
one
brought
another.
that about at
Yeah.
21?
Yeah, we talked off and on. You know, during as in our adulthood, you know, 19, 20, 21. But we wasn't together. She had somebody and I had somebody, and I was actually engaged to somebody to be married, and she was with someone, and it just so happened we ended up breaking up, me and the girl I was engaged with, and she ended up, you know, leaving him, and
It was
she,
just
she
meant
just
to
called,
be.
yeah, she called me, I'm still in love with you, and there it was.
When did you
Oh,
ask her
wow.
to marry you?
What, how did that make you feel? How did that make you feel though? Because I had
Mm-hmm.
this question for someone about women approaching men.
Yeah,
So with her doing that,
yeah.
how did that make you feel?
Yeah, I was fine with it. I mean, in that, you know, just for that, you know, I don't want her to asking me to marry her.
Right.
You know, that, you know, I'm glad she said that for me.
Yeah.
You know, but for her to tell me that, I needed her to tell me that because I didn't.
That
you
helped
know,
you
yeah, it
to
helped me.
realize, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like I said, I'm shy, so I don't just, you know, walk up to women and say, you know, you got to look at me, you got to show me that you like me 1st for me to actually start talking.
Most men
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
need
so
to have
if
that.
it wasn't for her doing that, saying, you know, what she said in the hallway,
Y'all
I
would've
would never
missed
talked
it.
to her. Yeah.
Yeah.
It probably would have been a while when
She
I
was
talked to her again.
shooting her shot.
Yeah.
Okay. 'Cause I
And if she
thought-
would never called me
that's
today,
it.
I would have never called her.
Oh wow.
Right, yeah.
You know, so,
How long
crazy.
after that did you ask her to marry you?
see, about a year.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
it didn't take long. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
really take long. So, and I was
mean, if
in
you know,
Oklahoma.
you know.
I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma at that time. She was here in Dallas, and when she told me that, she started coming up there to see me, and I would come down here to see her, and we would, you know, just jailed back.
You were in
know.
college at that time?
No, I was in graphic arts school. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
college, yeah. But yeah, we just ended up getting back together like that.
That's awesome.
Y'all grew up
story.
together.
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
a nice
I
story.
love
yeah.
that
Yeah.
story.
But I always say, you know, just because we knew one another, we didn't know each other. We didn't know each other until we moved together, until we
Yeah.
started. That's when we started learning one another, and
Okay.
we got married, and then we started seeing the, you know,
So y'all
implications and
moved
stuff like
together
that.
first before you married?
We did, yeah. We were engaged, and we had, I guess, like 6 more months until we got married, until we
Okay,
used to get married,
gotcha.
and so we moved together. But Yeah, those first 5-6 years.
tough?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, most definitely. So that's what I'm saying. You don't know nobody until you actually.
Yeah, so people are kind of iffy about that, like not moving together before marriage. But how do
Yeah.
you feel about it? You think
Yeah,
it's
as,
necessary?
I
as
pre-
a minister, I would like to know.
I mean, I prefer you do it after marriage. That's the right way to do it. We obviously we don't do it that way. We do it before we move together, and then we try to figure things out, and then we want to see if it's okay, and then now we want to leave.
Right,
when the
Oh,
first
right,
chance
yeah.
hit. But no, once you get married, it's supposed to be for life. It's supposed to be, you dedicate.
That's true,
You make
yeah.
those vows for a reason. And so, but you have to honor those vows, and we don't.
You become a one.
Yeah, that's true, because I feel like it is easier to leave if you're not married.
Yeah, it is. It's real
So
easy.
then y'all
yeah.
get into this relationship, y'all move together, like, oh, I can't do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But then you're supposed to do that work. Like, you're two different people. Of course, you're going to butt
Yeah,
heads sometimes.
exactly.
You have to find a way to make it work.
Exactly. So the character that you pose for in there, that's what they're going through. So that couple, she was upset. That's why she wanted to slap him. It's
Yeah,
because-
y'all made it seem like she was crazy. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this.
And
What,
so
what
the-
was
that's-
their case?
So-
Were they engaged?
Yeah, they were engaged for it's called the engagement for 5 long years. Is what it is. So
5
so she was
Yeah,
upset.
that wouldn't be me in real life.
Yeah, she was upset because he didn't marry her like he said.
Okay.
And he didn't marry her like he said because she had an attitude. So she was always angry. So it was like
had
back and forth between the two of
Because he
them.
was stringing me along.
Right, yeah. So yeah, it was back and forth. So that she was mad at him, and he was scared to marry her because of that. And
I'll be
so
scared
But
too.
why did he stay though?
he stayed because he loved her, and he realized that the counselor helped him to realize that he loved her. And so once he realized what he really needed in her and what he found in her, then he went on and proposed again, and they got married later.
Oh,
Tell
don't
the
give
story.
spoil.
Yeah, don't let me tell the
Spoiler
story.
alert.
Y'all didn't hear that? Don't
Well, I mean, you didn't get
erase that. Delete.
It's
We'll
all
ed- we'll
good.
edit that
I'm
out.
still gonna read it
Wink, wink.
regardless.
Right.
We'll edit that out. Wink, wink.
Right. Yeah.
Well, hopefully it will help people. Like, oh, because that
Yeah.
people to want to like read the book
Yeah,
and
yeah.
see the play. You know,
Yeah.
like oh, they got a little snippet, so they
Oh, yeah.
maybe want to
Yeah.
urge them to see it.
Most definitely.
But that's like real life situations though.
it is. Yeah.
There's people who've been married, not married, engaged for so
Engaged,
long.
Yeah.
It was like 4 years, 5 years, and they're like,
Yeah, I
oh.
can't-
And some
I can't
people
do
are
it.
engaged
I
for a
can't
long time
either.
and don't
Yeah.
even ever get married.
Yeah,
I feel like
I've
if
seen
you wait a long time,
I've seen
then-
older couples that do that. They start out like I guess in their 30s or whatever, and they had already been married I guess 2 or 3 times or whatever. Now they just kind of flowing with it, and then they get married at 60 something.
Ugh.
So yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
that, but that's just a long time to me.
That
I
is.
just can't
'Cause I
do
feel
it.
like if you know, then what's holding you back?
Yeah.
I mean, we can get married the next day after
Yeah.
you propose. Come on,
Yeah,
let's go down to
exactly,
the courthouse.
yeah.
Right.
Because I feel like
Exactly, I
people.
agree.
I feel like the wait is. Oh, I need time to plan.
Right, that's what it is.
That is.
Yeah.
Okay, we want to have a nice wedding, a big wedding.
That's
we
what
wanna
it
invite all
is.
of our family and friends. That's why we plan ahead.
Yeah.
But if you're just wanting to,
But you can go to the courthouse and do it
You can
and
do it,
still
yeah.
have that
Yeah.
plan that big
yeah.
wedding.
Yeah.
Some people do it that way.
Whatever,
I've known
yeah.
some people who've done it that way.
Yeah.
Because they
'Cause-
just, let's just get it over with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the main thing with our wedding. Because we got married, we didn't know anything about marriage. We went to the council and we just thought we were so in love and we wanted each other. We needed each other, and we got, we went to council and was like, yeah, okay, we holding hands and everything. And then after the fact, after we get married, that's when things start happening. You start realizing, noticing one another and noticing, all the imperfections, like I said earlier, and you just started learning. You start learning one another, and it's not always good.
Right.
At that time. And then you go back to counseling, and now y'all sitting separate. You sit
wow,
way over there, and
They
you sit
call
way
it
over
the
there. and you
honeymoon
mad.
stage. You've been in a
Yes.
honeymoon
Yes.
stage for
Exactly.
quite a while.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Happy, and you think
Yeah.
you see on the outside, oh,
Yeah.
they're supposed to be happy all the time and in love, and then
Right.
after a couple of months, you're like, I don't even like you right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get out of my
And-
face.
This is not fun like I thought it was.
Right, and we
And I
we,
think-
we sat there and we planned that whole wedding, and it was nice, and we had all our family there and big, we spent all this money, but we didn't take the time out to go to do the marriage counseling thing, and that's another
So
reason
you
why that's,
advise that people should
Yes.
do the marriage
yes,
counseling first.
premarital counseling is what it is. Yeah, do that and learn. Don't just go off of what you think you know, and don't go off of forget about what you saw your parents do. Whatever you think you know, you don't know it.
Because
so, yeah.
each generation is different.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents, they look at things differently
Yeah.
than I did. So definitely, you're right.
Mhm.
You should
Yeah.
go to that
Mhm.
counseling.
Right, yeah. Just respect one another, love one another, treat each other good, and everything will be all right if you do that. But if you're doing something totally opposite of that, then it's gonna always fail.
I do you think that people are making it harder
Probably.
than what it
Yeah.
should be?
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
I know we
I
did.
look at people. I'm always looking at. I'm like, why y'all make it so hard?
Yeah, we
But I
definitely
mean,
did. I mean, yeah, it was like I said, a lot of things happened in the first 5 to 6 years of our marriage, and it didn't have to happen, but it did. And that's because we allowed it to happen. And I've seen that with a lot of couples. They allow things to happen. They just forget where they started. And that's the other problem is that once you get married and maybe you're married for 5 years, maybe 10, 20 years, you forget how you got that person and you stop doing
Yeah.
those things.
You're
Oh,
right.
yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why I always say, stay who you were when
Yeah.
I first met you.
Right,
Don't
yeah.
change on me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're changing for the better.
Yeah. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
Only
And
in that case.
like things are going to
Yeah.
change. You have babies. Your body's going to change. Men, they bodies change too. But you still have to.
And you have some relationships where it could be the man or woman. I'm
Yeah.
just saying,
Yeah.
one of the people could get bigger,
Yeah.
and they're looking
We
like,
definitely got
Like
bigger.
that.
Yeah, I'm definitely not the same
you
size.
ain't the person I married. What
Right,
happened? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that's a.
better for worse.
yeah, and they don't look at it like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they forget all.
They ain't even listening to that really.
Nah,
They just like,
yeah.
hurry up and say what you gotta say, because
Right.
we trying to get to the honeymoon.
But even like the approach though, it's like when, typically it's always when the women gain weight, a man will be
Oh,
either
yeah.
not attracted to her anymore
Exactly.
or being mean to her about it. But
Right.
it's just like, let's just live a healthier lifestyle. Guide her
Yeah.
into if you have an issue with it, and
But men are visual,
Yeah.
for sure.
so I want to know about your marriage development group.
Marriage development. Yeah.
Are you and your wife? You guys are counselors.
Yes. Well, we help. I'm gonna put it like that. We
Okay.
help counsel other couples. We don't charge anything. We just try to help them with our experiences. Whatever like I said, we've been through a lot. It's not much we haven't seen or gone through ourselves in our own marriage. So we try to help other couples, and so we if anybody need any counseling or whatever, we just say come on to the house, whatever. We talk to them and try to direct them in the right way.
That's nice. Is it like groups or it's just one on one?
Just one on one. Yeah, just
Okay.
couple to couple. Just
Y'all
me and my
counsel
wife.
single people? Because I want to be ready. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we
Let me
have.
tell you what you need to look forward to. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, we haven't done single
No.
people yet.
But
So
it-
the group is, when you said it's not your group, is there another pastor and his wife that
No, that's
actually?
marriage development is my group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and you started it when?
It was 2010, I think.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Yeah. So 2010, I started the group and just started ministering that way. Trying to help other couples. Just posting, just sending out posts and things like that. And then we would sometimes we would go out. Maybe go bowling. Have some. I had a barbecue one year. Yeah, we just have a good time.
I like that.
Just couples
I did too.
chilling.
And I know
Yeah.
you mentioned some things before, but what do you think is like, maybe it's more than one, but what's the key to a good marriage?
Like I said earlier, the key is just treating each other right. Just loving one another. Don't do anything to the other person that you don't want them to do to you. That's basically how you maintain your marriage. Just remember who you used to be. If you was a loving person in the beginning, you need to be that loving person in the end. And that's I live strong by that. I don't. I try to be the same man that I was for my wife when she first met me. That child, that kid, that used to, try to grab on her, do stuff, tickle her, make fun of her, stuff like that. I still do that. I still
Yeah.
act, she don't like it sometimes, but sometimes I get a little smile out of it. You know, but yeah, I do those
And when
things.
you truly love someone, I don't think that is work. It's like that's what you want to do.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun
And
to
then
me.
it's also, I feel like, because I had this question, it was like, would you rather be liked or loved? Of course, I think people would choose both.
Yeah.
But I think liking someone in a relationship helps too.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Oh,
some people,
definitely.
Yeah.
like, I love you because I have to, but then they don't even
But
like
you gotta
you.
like that person in order to fall in love with
Yeah.
them.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think just even having that likeness, because even when you guys go through something, and then it's like, I love you, but I don't like you right now. I don't understand that anymore.
Yeah.
But you know what
To me.
I learned over the years that sometimes couples are not in love with each other at the same time.
yeah.
I could be in love with you right now, but you're not in love with me.
Yeah.
And then maybe 5 years go by, and then I fall out of love, and now you're in love.
Yeah.
Is that a truth?
Yeah, it just depends. It depends on what you're going through. Like me and my wife, we actually divorced. We divorced one another, and so once we did that, we realized how much we love one another. So it's sometimes you got to go through those things. You got to experience something tragic for you to realize that you did love that person. It's just it's hidden somewhere inside of you. You just forgot that you love that person. So
Oh my
the love is still there.
Yeah.
You're still in love with that person. You just kind of lost it because you still you in the apartment or you in the house and you still doing the day to day. You picking up the kids, you going to work, and the same thing every single day, and you just forget about one another. And once something tragic happens, then everything hits the fan, and you just forget, So you have to, like I said, maintain that marriage. You got to remember to date one another, to go out. My kids, they hate when we go out because we leave them. We just, hey, we going out. Y'all going out on a date again? Yeah, we leaving y'all. You stay here.
Again.
We don't
Date night.
Yeah, this is date night. And you got to do that. You got your kids got to see that.
I've
Yeah,
heard
because
that.
you have some older kids too, so it's
Yeah.
like y'all can babysit.
Right,
They
right.
babysit each other. Yeah, so they,
babysit each other.
right. Yeah, so they
Who's watching who tonight?
Our
Right.
eldest, she's 26. She'll be 26.
Oh,
so
yeah,
she's out the
definitely.
house. Yeah,
Babysit.
Yeah, she's out the house now, and now we have the 15-year-old and 13-year-old.
15
So they can stay home by
babysit?
themselves.
Yeah,
they can stay
yeah.
home by themselves.
But I heard that date night was very important
Yes.
in
Yeah,
relationships.
You have to have that. Yeah. You have to have that. It don't matter if you have $20. Still go out somewhere.
You
go
can
to
plan
the park.
dates where you don't have to even spend anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You
Yeah,
just go on
even-
a walk. Just as
yeah.
long as you spend that time together.
Yeah.
Yeah, get out the house, do
exactly.
something, go for a walk, go downtown.
Yeah.
Trust me, me and my wife, we cheap. She's cheap. She's real cheap. So I like that about her. She's always been like that.
Okay.
Like
And
that.
so yeah, because that means
Get
that
you a
I don't
cheap
have to
woman.
do a lot to please her. Now I do go out of my
Yeah.
way to try to please her. She loves it, but I don't have to do a lot for her to enjoy herself and have a good time. So we can go to Chili's, we can go to Cheddar's, or go downtown and walk at the park down there, or do something something like that or whatever. She don't care, But the point is that we're spending time together. We put our phones aside. And take the time to listen to one another and talk and learn one another because you still don't know. Like I said, we still don't know each other.
Yeah.
Even through 8 years old, through
Yeah,
teenage
I've heard
years.
that it takes a lifetime to really get to know
Yeah,
someone.
yeah, I'm still learning love.
But I think
Still
that's the
learning.
beauty of it, though.
I do
Yeah.
too. I
It is.
agree.
That
It
is the
is.
beauty of it. You
'Cause it
learning
never gets
something new
boring.
about your partner, and then you guys are growing,
Yeah.
so you guys are changing.
Exactly. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
seen I forgot what I was watching, but this guy, it was a married couple, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm your best friend" or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, I have best friends. Like, you're not my best friend, basically. But
Right.
what do you think about that?
Yeah. Let's reverse it. I said that to my wife, and she said, "I'm not you're not my best friend." So she didn't see me as that, and that was the time where we was going through. That was that time where she felt like she didn't like me.
Oh,
So it was that point, but I, even through the times that I don't like her, I still see her as my best friend because I'm looking at the overall
Okay.
picture of it. When I'm going through something, I'm able to talk to her. I'm able to go to her for some kind of counseling or some kind of your advice. I want to know what you think. What's your
Yeah.
opinion? Can you help me out with this situation? Or hey, let's roll here. Let's go here. Let's do things together. So to me, that's my best friend. And I think she didn't realize what I meant by that at the time. You think that a best friend is always
Yeah,
going
like
to
it's
agree
gonna-
with you,
yeah.
and that ain't no best friend.
That's
A best
right.
friend is going to tell you when you're right and wrong.
Exactly.
And that's what I feel that she is. And now she's starting to realize that about me. So yeah,
Yeah, I like that. Keeping that friendship and like you said, just being each other's best friend. I feel
Right.
like holds a
Yeah.
relationship.
yeah, yeah. You got to tell the good and bad. You got to, be real with one another. Be transparent. And I'm if she don't look good in that dress, baby, you don't look good in that dress. Please,
For
put
real,
something else
no.
on.
Exactly.
And then
And
when she
people-
do, I tell her, hey, baby, you look real good in that dress.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Be
she
honest,
knows.
'cause
Yeah.
Don't we have
Yeah.
nobody out there looking like a fool?
Right,
Right.
exactly. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they-
Yeah, 'cause I
if
wanted to
somebody
tell-
say
Because
something,
real
they be
love,
like,
you
"Babe,
ain't
why
gonna
did you
send
say
them
anything
out.
about
Yeah.
your-"
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to tell me if it's something in my nose. Don't just let me walk around
Exactly.
here looking crazy. Tell me.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
then when it's your person
Or
that's
my
telling you
tag
that,
is
it's
sitting
not.
up.
It's,
yeah, when you tag,
when
yeah.
your best friend is telling you that,
Yes.
it's not like
Yeah.
offensive,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And you gotta
yeah.
think about it. A best friend is someone who's loyal to you,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
you can trust,
Uh-huh.
and so like all those things are like qualifications for a relationship.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's it.
I think
That's
that's
exactly what you need.
important.
Yeah. So yeah, that
I
you
wonder
know
how that
those.
couple's doing now.
Yeah.
Talk about
They-
that wasn't her
they
his
living.
best friend.
Yeah, they living. But yeah, you definitely got to be one another's best friend. I mean, like I say, even when you're going through the bad, you're still best friends. You still got to have that mindset, because once you lose that mindset, now you want a divorce. Now you want to leave. You want to walk out the door, and you want to go talk to somebody else, or you want to go talk to your best friend about stuff that's going on in your household when you need to be talking to one another. That's
right.
And that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. That's the biggest issue.
Okay, they
Yeah.
talking to their other best friend
Yeah.
about you.
And that
Yeah.
cause split.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
a lot
Now
of
they
times.
best friend looking at
now
you
you got this
sideways.
Somebody
person
in
over
your
here.
ear. Yeah, telling
you got
you.
them
Yeah.
talking in your ear, and now they against you, and they don't have both sides of the story.
Right.
That's another part that's in the
That's-
book too,
yeah.
as well, because you got the counselor. You got somebody talking about your relationship. You talking to everybody else, but you're not talking to the person that needs to, that you need to talk to. So
Right. And what I noticed, even it doesn't matter who you are, but when you're telling your side of the story, not all of it comes out.
Nah.
Because
Right.
Yeah.
you forget some stuff,
No.
you leave some stuff out, and
You leave-
sometimes
yeah.
you even
Make
maybe
it
little.
juicy.
Some people who fib a little bit to
Yeah.
kind of
Uh-huh.
get people on their side.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the truth don't always.
Yeah, I had to definitely stop talking to other people about what's going on in our marriage, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, sometimes you need to talk to somebody,
Yeah.
but I always say to talk to somebody that's spiritually led.
Yes.
Don't just go to just some random dude or whatever. Just start,
Yeah.
especially like other people
You don't know
of the
their
opposite sex
intentions,
that
yeah.
may like you.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Right,
because that's
right.
gonna, they,
'Cause
they're
that
going to be
leads
against
to
you. And family members, some of them they didn't have good relationships, so they're not going to
Yeah.
give you good information. But if you
Exactly.
go to that person, like if you come to me, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm say, okay, so what did you do? And how did you respond to that? And how did you react to what she said? And okay, let's go back to before y'all started talking about that. What happened before that? Because I want to know. I'm gonna ask a whole bunch of questions. I'm not just gonna take your word for it and act like you just you good. Now it
But
might
that's
have been
important.
it might have been her fault, but you had some involvement in it too.
Both,
Yeah, it's important
both
because
parties
you-
have a
Sorry.
part
Yeah,
in it.
you
Yeah.
doing that can help them realize, because
Right.
sometimes when you're in a relationship and you're talking with your partner and they're
Uh-huh.
telling you something, you
Yeah.
don't look at it
Yeah.
in their eyes. But if someone
Right.
else comes and they're like, well, this, and then you start realizing like, oh, shoot.
Right.
And so then you kind of like catch on
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
It's always two sides to one story,
Uh-huh.
and having a counselor to listen to both sides,
Right.
they can help you decipher through
Right.
what's going on.
Most
and-
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, can you tell us where we can purchase your lovely book? The
Amazon. Amazon. Like I said, this is one book, so if you will, please purchase both of them. You can purchase this one first, and then purchase the next one, however you want to do it. But you need to do this one first because it goes into the next one. It says be continued into volume 2. So you order it on Amazon and get it off
And
there.
and they're kind of thick too, so you
Yeah.
got some good read right
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's so entertaining.
It is.
So
It
you
is.
just
I know I said I didn't read it yet, but for what I got, I know
Yeah.
it's entertaining.
Right.
So you just be so engaged, you don't. I don't even think.
So
the
you
thickness
did
even
say
matter.
that you did the play
Mhm.
for the book.
Yes, ma'am.
So are you planning on doing a sequel to the play, or
We're gonna do the play again. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we plan on doing it this
okay.
year. I don't have the date yet, but we are gonna do it. Just have to start
Are
practicing.
you
for it.
doing casting calls for the play, or how?
I may have to. Yeah, yeah. A couple of people But yeah.
Okay, I'm an actor, so hey.
All right. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming on. It was
Appreciate you.
Yes,
I
we
really
enjoyed
this.
you.
I want to have you
Yes.
come
Thank you
back.
for
'Cause
having
I,
me.
Yeah.
I want to talk. We need to have your wife come back too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Hey,
need y'all to
yeah.
come
She done,
together
we
because
can
we
go
need
part
her
two.
side too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
She done slipped through our fingers this
Yeah.
time.
See?
We'll get you next time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Tell her she didn't get out of it.
I'll tell her. I'll let her know.
Coming for her.
Let her know. Let us know when you're ready and we'll come
All
together.
right. How's the next weekend? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. We'll come next weekend if you're ready. We'll come. We'll come.
All right. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
I really did
Thank
enjoy
you.
this. Thank
Yes,
you so
I'm
much.
appreciate
here
you.
too.
All right.
Thank y'all.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching again. I hope that you learned a lot from this. And I know y'all want Perry to come back just like we want him to come back. So
Yes.
y'all holler at us, let us know. Thank you so much. And good night.
Good night.
Or good morning, whatever time it is.
Whichever.
Good morning.
It's a brand new day.